Hey YouTubers, today I want to share my impressions on the SmallRig L bracket for the Nikon Z8. This is SmallRig part number 3942. I got this in a couple weeks ago and I am really excited about it. It does a great job. In talking about the new one though, I want to talk about my previous favorite all-time L bracket. If you have a Nikon Z6, Z7, Z6 II or Z7 II, I highly recommend this bracket. I got this off eBay. This is a brand I'd never heard of before. Gabale, I suppose is how you pronounce that. But I've used this for hundreds of hours over several years, and this thing is awesome. Little magnetically attached Allen key, which loosens the nut where you attach it, plus lets you slide out the L bracket portion. Well machined, great fit. Got little rubber pads here to protect the bottom of the camera. No flex. This was something I got off eBay, super cheap, and was astonished at how good it was. I actually looked to see, and I do not see where this is available for the Z8. So I started looking at what was available, and the first folks to market with a bracket for the Z8 was SmallRig. Unfortunately, I could not find this bracket available anywhere in the US for sale. The only place I could find it was in Germany or on eBay. And I took a chance and ordered a pair of these off of eBay, and great price. I think I paid less than $60 with shipping. Now, when I ordered them, it said it would be in something like 6 weeks. So I thought I was really going to wait a long time on this, but I actually received these in under 2 weeks. So if you're looking for an L bracket for the Z8, at this time, your best bet is to go online and order these off of eBay. Now, this has a lot of the design features, just like my old favorite bracket. We have a magnetically attached tool to attach it to the camera body and to loosen the L bracket portion. Slide that out to whatever position we want and then tighten that back up again. And this slides into a little slot here, and between the slot and the magnet, I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. I'm having a hard time lining up. There we go. And so that's really nice, well constructed. It's got a lip here around the edges that locks the camera into place. Plus, there's a small pin here that goes into a hole on the bottom of the camera, so you don't have to crank this quarter 20 screw down super tight. Just snug it up, and this is not going to go anywhere relative to the camera. One of the things that the SmallRig brackets, the very first ones they came out with the Z9, is they did not have this notch here. And that allows you easy access to this button that's on the side of the Z8 and the Z9. Now, SmallRig addressed that on the later versions for the Z9, but they got it right from the get-go on the Z8. One of the other criticisms of the SmallRig bracket for the Z9 is there was a good bit of flex in the bracket when you use it in the vertical position. And I can tell you this thing is as rigid as it can be. It's not going anywhere. So SmallRig has learned their lessons from the first Z9 bracket they made, and they've come out with a really solid bracket for the Z8. Lots of little subtle features in it that are nice. When you're using your camera in the vertical position and you're putting it on the tripod, there's a mark here to help you align the center of the lens over your tripod when you're shooting in the vertical position. And you also see another one here when shooting in the horizontal position. Like I say, little small details like this that make your life a lot easier. Now, I have sort of smallish to medium-sized hands, and the Z8 fits my hands perfectly without the bracket. But if you have larger hands, you're really going to appreciate this extra bit here that gives your pinky somewhere to rest if you have large hands. I say it's not an issue for me, but for those of you with larger hands, you're really going to appreciate this. It gives you a good firm grip on the camera body without having to put a battery grip on. Now, one thing SmallRig had to take into mind when they designed this is to provide this support here for your finger. Well, if they made that rigid, that would interfere with the battery door. You wouldn't be able to get it open. So what they did is they made this hinged. And there's a fairly stiff hinge here, but you pivot this over. Now your battery door can open fully, and you can get your battery out, close that, push that back, and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's a really solid piece, very well built, well designed. I imagine I'm going to leave this on this camera body all the time. And the only thing I don't care for about it, and I don't think they had any choice on this, is you can see my little ring here where I attach my camera strap is free to lay flat against the camera body. Once you put this L bracket on, that's no longer an option. This stays up, and it has to because there's nowhere for it to go. And SmallRig could not have made this any shorter because then it would interfere with access to all of the ports. So this is the one compromise that you'll have to put up with putting any L bracket on the Z8. The body's smaller, and it's just space over here on the side of the camera is tight, and this is just going to be something that you'll have to live with. It's not a deal breaker for me. It's a minor annoyance, but I'm sure I'll get used to it in no time at all. So I want to make you aware of that. That's the only compromise with adding this to your Z8. So I hope you find this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did. Thank you.